Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So today we are going to talk about building a team. So I get a lot of questions about building a team. Unfortunately, many of them are from people who have no business building a team because they haven't really gotten any deals yet. But I'm going to answer the first question of when should you start building a team. So I think the next video I'll do is how to start building a team, but first, when. So there are people who talk to me and say, I want to start this business, I want to hire this, I want to hire that. Oh shoot, I'm going the wrong way. Am I? No, I think I'm going the right way. So a couple of things. I highly recommend that you do not hire people when you start, because the commitment of resources, both financial to pay people and time to manage people, is something you do not want to be spending. You don't want to be spending when you start. You want to do everything by yourself to start. As crazy as that sounds, and I can tell you that if I think of 50 people in this business, 50 of them do things differently. You want to create a business that works for you. So the question is, when is it time to add somebody to your team? So the questions you ask yourself, there really are two. The first is, are there things that you should be doing that are not getting done? So I have a friend who was not following up with leads, right? And that's a big problem, right? He's letting deals go, and he's not getting enough deals because he's not following up. So I told him he's got to hire somebody to follow up with his leads. That's one example. The other thing is things that you hate doing that suck the energy and life out of you. So for me, I do not like dealing with dispositions. I don't like dealing with buyers. I don't like dealing with cash buyers, and I don't like dealing with retail buyers. Now I can do it. I can probably do it better than anyone else, and I did it for many years, but I hate it, right? I tell this story a lot, but my kids were young. It was one of my first deals. It was a Cape in Valley Stream. I was at a birthday party for one of my kids, and a buyer called me who was not represented by an agent, and they said they want to see this house right away. And I left my kid's birthday party, went there. I got the house all ready. I think at that point I was putting vanilla on the incandescent bulbs to make a better sound, make a better smell. And I put all the lights on, and I was freshening up the house and making it look great, and sitting there waiting. And I called them, and they go, "Oh yeah, we changed our mind. We're not coming." And that was a real epiphany moment for me, where I realized I cannot drop everything to do that. Now, what was going through my mind is that I wasn't going to have to pay 2% to an agent. I was going to make an extra $8,000. This was a deal where it was really tight, one of my first deals. But I can't do with that. I need to take that emotion out of it, and I need somebody else to do that. And that's when I hired a disposition manager, someone who was going to sell the houses for me, and they get paid to do that, and they take something off of my plate that I really don't like to do. So there are things that suck your energy that you hate doing, even if you're good at them, right? There are things you might be great at, but you hate doing them. Then you might want to hire somebody to do it. Also, things that are just not getting done because we don't have that many, there's only 24 hours in the day. Then you want to hire somebody. So that's really the answer of when you build a team. You build a team when critical things are not getting done. And sometimes when you start, you're not even sure what's critical and what's not. Or when there are things that are getting done, but you hate doing them, right? For me, that was dispositions. Now, over time, lead intake was something that wasn't getting done. We had a bunch of calls coming in. Calls weren't being answered live, or they weren't being answered quick enough, and follow-up. So I hired leads managers to do that. And that's how I sort of built the team. Now, at this point, I am hiring people to go on appointments because I'm traveling a lot more lately. I'm traveling a ridiculous amount lately. And I want someone to be going on appointments even when I'm not around. So I am hiring acquisition managers, and my disposition managers left. So I just hired a new disposition manager, and these are the parts of the business that now there are other things, right? Some people don't like marketing, right? So they can hire a done-for-you service to do marketing for you. There are all kinds of things you can hire. You can outsource everything in this business, but the idea that you are going to hire somebody to do something for you before you really know what it is that they should be doing is a mistake I see made all the time. So we're going to talk more about how to hire people and what you should do when you hire them in the next video. But as for when, the answers really are when something is not getting done, or when something may be getting done but you hate doing it. That is when you should hire somebody. So let's talk about the three components of the business so you sort of understand where you might want to hire somebody. I look at the business as in three parts. There are people who look at it just two parts, like buying houses and selling houses. That's fine. I look at it as marketing, which is getting people to raise their hand and say they're interested in selling. Then there's actual acquisitions, which means talking to those people either virtually or live and getting them to agree to sell your property at enough of a discount that you can make a profit. And then once something's under contract, there's disposition. So if you're flipping a house, then there might be another segment of the property, which is project management, right? And there are people I know who flip a lot of houses and hire a bunch of project managers. That's something you might want to hire. But dispositions is really either assigning contracts to cash buyers who are going to do the work themselves, or after you flip a property or a hotel property, or after a property has been fixed up, selling that property to a retail buyer. All those things do take time and energy. And in theory, I could spend all day doing that, but I don't, as I said, I don't like doing it, so I hire people to do that for me. Those are really the aspects of the business. I'm wondering if I'm missing anything. So there is something in other states called transaction management. I mean, it sort of applies here, but in between when something gets into contract and when it closes. So in New York, we have this advantage of having attorneys who, their paralegals usually act as transaction coordinators for us. They're not as good as if we had a full-time TC, as they say, is a full-time transaction coordinator, but it's important to understand that we don't always need someone to do it because the title companies in New York do not run the transaction. Attorneys run the transaction. So, and there are people who tell me that they have a great title company. They have people working at a title company to do the transaction coordination. So I know that there is something to be said to having somebody move things along. For me, I don't consider that an integral part of the business. It's a small part of the business. Like there are a million smaller parts of the business, bookkeeping, accounting, things like that. But you don't need that. You need to get leads, so that's marketing. You need to get deals, so that's acquisitions. And you need to disposition those deals, which is dispositions. Those are really the main parts of the business. And those are the parts that you are going to be doing all yourself when you start. And when something is, really making you nauseous, like the story I just told you, which made me nauseous, that I left my own kid's birthday party to sell a house, to go, I hoard myself out for an extra $8,000, and the person didn't even show up, which taught me, buyers are liars. Buyers are liars and sellers are lie tellers. That's what people say. But for buyers, I can't take it because they're just, people just say things and don't show up. So that's my first hire was a disposition manager. Very rare to have somebody first hire a disposition manager, but for me, it was a no-brainer to get it done, and I'm a big fan of that. So I think this was helpful. I hope this was helpful. Again, the next one will be how to actually hire somebody on your team. Where you should get them from, what you do to, we'll get into all those details. So I hope this was helpful. If you are interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you are interested in a course I have that teaches how to do what I do, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you are interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching I offer, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. What else? You're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. You're watching on any media channel, please click the likes. The thumbs up really help me. And please keep the comments coming. I was not good last week. I was out of the country, but I am trying to post, and I will post 5 times a week, every week. And I run out of things to say. So your comments really help me. If it's a simple question with a simple answer, I'll just reply with an answer. And you can ask a question about anything. It doesn't have to be about the video you're watching. And if it's something that I've covered before, I'll send you links to videos. I just did that recently. And if it's something new, I will do a brand new video on your topic. So please keep the comments coming. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very, very much for all of the views that I've been getting lately. I really appreciate it.